Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afrida Tuzudi Hasana from FKIP Medan Sungkono University. In this video, I will present about improving students' skills in writing narrative text through animation movies. Based on Kurikulum Tingkat Satuan Pendidikan 2006, learning in junior high school is aimed at making the students able to express ideas in written form by using appropriate language variation fluently and accurately in interaction or monologue in the form of descriptive, recount, narrative, procedure, and report. In writing narrative text, the students are expected to be able to write a simple narrative text correctly. In this case, the students should know the sequences of events in the story and the problem or climax. It is easier for them to get the ideas, use the appropriate vocabulary, and expand the ideas to become a chronological story. In fact, the students' writing skill is still low. Most of them are unable to fulfill those requirements because of several factors. There are many definitions about movie, and it can be concluded that movie is a motion pictures recorded using specially designed cameras to be shown on television or cinema in order to give particular messages to the viewers. Visual aids has an important function that the teacher can use in teaching and learning process. By using animation movies, the students are able to distinguish each kind of text from another. The writer can develop the student's ability of writing in using appropriate grammar and vocabulary, using correct spelling, and also organizing the ideas well. Research and methods. This action research was conducted at SMP Negeri 2 Glego, one of the state junior high school in Boyolali. The subject of the study is the students of 8th grade of SMP Negeri 2 Glego. The method that applied is classroom action research. Classroom action research is any systematic inquiry conducted by teacher researchers, principals, school counselor, or other stakeholders in the teaching learning environment to gather information about the ways that their particular schools operate. The procedures of classroom action research are as follows. The first is planning. The writer prepared lesson plans, materials, observation sheet that will be used to observe teaching and learning process, instrument aids, and test instrument. The second is acting. This part, the researcher applied animation movie technique in teaching and learning process to deliver the material for the students step by step. The third is observing. The writer observed the students during teaching process whether or not animation movie technique can improve their writing comprehension and class situation. The fourth is reflecting. The writer evaluated the result of observation of implementing animation movie in the class, both of the improvement in writing comprehension and class situation. Now, the research findings and discussion. The result of the observation showed that the students had problems in writing a text because they learned writing without using a good approach and treatment. First, the students had difficulties in using appropriate grammar. Second, there were many students with limited vocabulary. The third, the students had difficulties in using correct spelling. The fourth, the students um, had difficulties in organizing the idea. The text the students produced was still in unwell organized text. Besides, the questionnaires and interview results showed that the students' attitude and motivation toward the English lesson, especially writing, was still low. Therefore, the action research was carried out in four meetings in cycle 1 and 3 meetings in cycle 2. After identifying the problems, the writer conducted a pre-test. The pre-test was done before implementing the teaching learning process using animation movies. The improvement of students' writing skill involved some aspects of writing, namely content organization, vocabulary, language use, and mechanism. After analyzing the observation result and the test result in the second cycle, the writer found the students' progress in writing ability. The students' writing skill got improvement from the first cycle. The test scores in cycle 2 showed the improvement result. The mean score of the pretest was 68.21, while the mean score of the post-test in cycle 1 was 73.12, and the mean score of the pretest in cycle 2 was 76.71. Related of the improvement of the class situation, the students had more confidence in writing individually after they watched the animation movies. In the first step, the writer gave building knowledge before going to main activities and tried to make the students enjoy the class. After that, the writer played the animation movies, conducted the students to do the all tasks related to the animation movies. It made the students know the plot of story and could write narrative text better than before. By using the animation movies, they could easily know about social function and generic structure of narrative text. The students could produce writing in organized text, which consists of orientation, complication, and resolutions. Animation movie as teaching media improves the class situation. The use of um, interesting media such as animation movies made the students have high motivation and interest to follow English class, especially writing. After the students watched the animation movies, they imagined the plot of the story and wrote to their paper and started to write narrative text. And now is the conclusion and suggestion. From the research, there are some findings. The first, animation movies as teaching media improves students' skills in writing narrative text. Second, animation movies as teaching media improves the class situation. Based on the research findings, some suggestions can be provided to improve the students' writing skill. To the teachers, Animation movie is one of effective media that can be used in teaching English writing. The students should motivate themselves to learn English. Besides motivation from teacher, they should get motivated actively in the activities during the lesson and finish the task well. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.